Terraria Minus Two. I had a new idea for Terraria series, and so I'm going to describe it to you here in the first minute or two of this video, and then we'll get started. Whenever you're trying to breathe fresh life into a game, I find the best way to do it is with constraints, goals, and penalties. Constraints being kind of the most important thing. Hey, you can drag the sun around on the screen. You're in the menu. And so in terms of constraints, Terraria Minus Two. The minus 2 refers to two letters of the alphabet. P as in pickaxe and D as in drill. I will not let myself use any tools or weapons that deal damage that contain the letter P or the letter D, which means no pickaxes and drills. It's going to be very hard to do any mining. No swords, because sword contains the letter D. No spear, because it contains the letter P. So it's going to be very hard to get started in this world. That's going to be the main constraint. That's going to make things really interesting, I think. Goals. The goal will be to defeat the golem in the jungle temple. And penalties we'll talk about as we get started. But let's see how this plays out. I've already created a character called Minus Two. And a world. This is a medium-sized world called Minus Two for Terraria Minus Two. And some people may already see kind of a flaw in the premise. If I can't use any tools that start with, or that contain the letter P or D, you normally start out with a copper pickaxe, copper short sword, and a copper axe, and copper contains the letter P. And so I've gone ahead and modified this character, as you will see. A sword and a pickaxe by themselves contain P's and D's, but I gave this guy a tin axe rather than a copper axe. Tin and copper are in the same tier, and that is his only starting item, and so as a result he's allowed to use this thing. It's a tool, and it does deal damage. I think it has, what kind of damage does it do? 4 melee damage. But it does not contain the letter P or the letter D, and as a result, it's going to be this character's primary weapon and kind of only source of manipulating the terrain, potentially for quite a while. And so we'll see how this goes. Right at the beginning, it's always important to chop down some trees, especially so in this particular style of playthrough that I've just kind of invented. I've seen people do a number of other Terraria constraint challenges with things involving, you know, not using pickaxes at all, or, you know, Uramir's doing one where he's only using summoning items, and so he can't use any weapons, etc. And this one, it's a little bit weird. P and D, I chose those letters just because they seem to be the most interesting set of constraints, in my opinion, going through the list of all of the weapons and tools. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out. There's some tin right over there, which I would love to have, but I have no means to mine it, and probably won't for a while. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to need a lot of wood, and so I'm going to replant some of these trees before we move along. But let's just start exploring this world and see what kind of good things... Ooh, Pinky! Pinky drops a gold coin. If we can kill Pinky, how many hit points does Pinky have? I cannot remember. 150. And I'm hitting Pinky for 1. Alright, that is probably not worth my time. That's a lucky spawn, but sadly I do not have any good weapons. And unless I get really lucky, I might not have any good weapons for quite a while. That looks like iron down there. That's also fortunate. Tin and iron, unlike copper and lead, for example, which would be the alternative to those two ores that you could randomly get in a world, do not contain the letters P and D. I should mention also the constraint doesn't apply to modifiers. So for example, at nighttime, if I fight some zombies, a zombie arm is a possible weapon drop that I might get if I get really lucky. And zombie arm doesn't contain the letters P or D, but sometimes there are modifiers on weapons. For example, I could get a legendary zombie arm, and legendary would contain the letter D, but the modifiers don't count. And so even a legendary zombie arm, I would be allowed to use it because the name of the weapon itself, zombie arm, doesn't contain any one of the taboo letters. But at this point, I have plenty of wood, so let's do some exploring. I see some pots down here. Let's hope for good things. We got some torches already. Torches, torches, torches. Gonna move them over into their usual spot. Usual for me. Hey, here's a chest. And, okay. Oh, a boomerang. Wooden boomerang. Wooden has a D, so I can't use it. Darn. I'm going to hold on to it because I could still sell it eventually when I get the merchant. And this chest is actually pretty near spawn. I'm actually going to go ahead and drop off coins in here. This is a softcore character playthrough. which means this character can, and very likely will, die a number of times in this playthrough. Oh gosh, might die right here, actually. Slimes, attack! Look out. Alright, green slimes, blue slimes, so many slimes. I placed a block over there, and I have no way to pick up this block right now. And so I better not trap myself, or I will be here forever. Entombed, as it were. I have some ropes, so maybe they would be a good way to get out of here as well. So let's see. Yes, I think I've kind of gone over the main constraints at this point. Hopefully it's clear what's going on here. I expect that this series is going to be somewhat heavily edited because the main portions of Terraria, like, you know, just getting through the progression. At this point, I've done a number of Terraria series in the channel already. And so people probably kind of know the major drill, and so I'm going to focus on what's, you know, interesting and different about this series. But especially at the beginning, I expect that there's going to be quite a bit of grinding. And so I'm going to make various cuts, and so I'll see you when I see you. For start off, I'm just going to explore the world, try to find some chests on the surface, and hope to find some good items. Ah yes, one thing that I've already forgotten about that I mentioned in the intro is constraints, goals, and penalties. It's going to be very easy for me to accidentally make a mistake and not be paying attention to certain weapons or tools and accidentally use one that contains the letter P or the letter D in an episode, and so if I do that, I feel like there ought to be some penalty. I'm sure viewers like you will call it out in the comments if I ever screw up. And so that's one of my expectations of you all. So yes, that's right. When you're watching these videos, you have responsibilities, people. But yes, what should the penalties be? In the past, I've done child play charity donations, and so we could do that again, but I don't know if people have other ideas for possible good, fun penalties for if I screw things up in one of these episodes. So let me know your ideas for penalties in the comments, in case I accidentally go and have an episode where I use something that I'm not allowed to use. And oh my gosh, it is hard to stay alive when all you have to defend yourself is a tin axe that's doing like 1 and 2 damage to various enemies. Cactus, however, I am chopping down the cactus for a reason, as you could imagine. Cactus can be made into armor, and so before that guy wakes up, I won't be able to pick up this workbench, but I can make some cactus armor now. Cactus... yeah, I don't know, like cactus breastplate and things. Cactus, armor is not something that deals damage, and those are the only things where I have the letter constraints, so I can make armor out of any materials that I want, kind of regardless of how its name is spelled and whatnot. But I guess cactus didn't have a P and a D in it anyway. But I'm going to grab some of these cactus and make some armor, and that will help my survivability in the long term a fair amount, I do believe. But yeah, without a pickaxe, I don't think that there's any kind of good way right now that I could pick up this workbench, which is why I've come back over to it. And this guy should be just about dead. There we go. Alright, I can now make the cactus leggings. And can I make the cactus helmet? Yes, great. And just like that, we were up to 5 defense. Awesome. Going from 0 to 5 defense is a big deal. And so that is really cool. And is there anything else I'd want to make out of cactus? I don't think so. So I'm not going to bother chopping down any more cacti over here. I will continue to explore and hopefully find some chests. Oh boy, it's the jungle over here past the desert. And I expect that just about everything in the jungle is going to kill me. I'm going to continue to explore to the right, in case we happen to get lucky and find some chests on the surface of the jungle, or find a nice little place into the underground jungle that I might find some good stuff underground. But yeah, like things like these jungle slimes will probably wreck me. Oh, piranha? Any chance of killing this piranha? He's only got 30 hit points. How much does my axe do against him? 3, yes. These guys could drop hooks, and a grappling hook is always a nice thing to get. Oh, he dropped a hook! Wow, I don't know what the chances of that are. I don't think they're very good. It's going to be a while before I have enough metal that I've managed to find in chests or whatnot to be able to actually make a what do you call? An anvil and chains so that I could actually make the grappling hook out of it, but that's actually a very lucky drop. And so I'm kind of pleased as punch about that. And it looks like we have an entrance into the underground jungle. It's going to start getting super scary above ground here as it turns nighttime. And so let's just start peeking around underground. We'll probably end up dying because I'm already low on hit points. But that's okay. The point is to explore and to try to gain as many treasures as the world will let me have before I meet my end. Oh gosh. Oh, and it started to rain. That doesn't bode well for -2, who watch their innards become outards by a jungle slime. Alright, well, we successfully explored a bit to the right. I'm going to put down a torch here, like right by my spawn point, so that I remember where it is. And actually, yeah, just another torch over here to have a little bit of the spawn point lit up. So the center of... Oh, those are my only torches? Can I craft some more? Yes. I can craft more. Torches, torches, torches. And I don't think I need the gel for anything else, so let's do that. And let's try exploring to the left rather than the right. We've got some penguins over here who have accidentally run into the axe. But at this point, since it's nighttime, I think I'll probably have better luck underground. And so I'm going to be looking for some caves to explore now. But also, mostly just trying to explore near the surface in order to find some chests. Although things... Ooh, hey. I want that star, actually, too. Things like stars that one finds at night would also be nice things to pick up. But here is a cave. And so let's explore shurikens. 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 One of these days, I'll figure out exactly how to pronounce that word. That's a good weapon. And it does not contain the letter I or the letter P. It does contain the letter I. It does not contain the letter P or the letter D. And so that is actually a weapon that I can use. Oh boy. And so, I don't have many of them, but they deal a fair amount of damage, and so I'm happy to have them. There's a few more. And I'm mostly just trying to outrun these enemies because I deal so little damage right now that it's very hard to fight them. I don't want to completely close this off, because, oh crap, then I don't have another way to open it back up, but I did want to try to go over in that direction. Well, it looks like it's too late now. Still 41 torches, which is not bad. Alright, ice slime will probably wreck me if I'm not careful. Alright, you go down there. Let's see if I can go across here, and then we'll come back to up there later. But let's leave myself a little hole that I can fall down. Okay, here's another pot. Oh, alright, found a dart trap. At the beginning of the game, with no mobility power-ups, Terraria is extremely challenging. I think at this point I'm going to rope up rather than go down there. But yes, haven't had any luck with any chests. Oh boy! Alright, well, now I'm down here apparently. Yet. Oh, but there we go. There's our first bit of luck. Hopefully, if I can manage to stay alive here. Okay, these guys will be challenging. Oh, I can't get in there. Right. Because I cannot mine any blocks, and I don't believe I've managed to pick up any bombs yet. Without a pickaxe, bombs are one of the few ways that I could successfully modify the terrain. However, I don't think I've been lucky enough to pick up any out of any pots as of yet. I think I need to run away from this fight and just hope to find some other good stuff before I die. Let me quickly check my inventory. No. So yeah, other than this axe, I don't think I have any kind of weapons that I can use. Looking carefully at my hotbar to make sure I'm not missing anything else. I picked up some wooden arrows. But wooden arrows contain the letter D, so they are not something that I'm allowed to use. And I don't have a bow anyway. I could make one out of wood. Once again, it would be a wooden bow, and again, contain the letter D. So until I manage to get a little bit luckier, it looks like we're not gonna have much success. But I would love to get in there if I could get my hands on some bombs. So at least we know where that is on the map now. Now, oops. All right. At this point, having done some exploration, the other thing that I can do, which may become useful, let's go ahead and pick up a star, because that's always great, is to start building some NPC housing, because another key thing for me to do is to get a merchant and then a demolitionist, because the demolitionist will sell me bombs, and with bombs I'll be able to have a whole lot more success in a lot of aspects of life. And so, I think what I'm going to do is build some housing up in the sky, since I can't really protect my NPCs very well. And so, we will build like this, and make a little house. And this is how things go. I've trapped myself in my house. I can't open the door, I can't break the ropes, I can't break the torch, and I can't break any of these blocks. Oh boy, thus ends the first playthrough.